Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Breeze TV Sports Desk's Week 5 edition of Extra Points. My name is Jordan Simal. This is Kaleb James. This is Michael Bellu. Guys, I'm in a pretty good mood to start off my Friday. Bears beating Tampa Bay because Tom Brady apparently can't count more than 4. We saw him last night. I just thought that was funny. I kind of wanted to make that joke to start off the segment, and its time has come and passed. So let's get on with Week 5. And on the first game that we're going to talk about, Kaleb, it's your Washington football team once again. And Dwayne Haskins isn't even starting this week. They have the 3-1 Los Angeles Rams. What's going on in your head right now?
The Rams, I'm kind of scared about them. I'm also scared about what's going on in D.C. right now. You know, quarterback controversy. It's sort of like deja vu with Robert Griffin and Kirk Cousins. Is Dwayne going to be the guy? Is Kyle Allen going to be the guy? There's a lot going on right now, and I know it's a lot on Ron as he battles cancer as a head coach. Obviously, you got as a head coach, you want the guys. You got to be the I lost my train of thought.
Step up, be a leader.
But
you got to be like decisive. I feel like, and I know that they were saying things like, you know, but they just don't like where he's at right now in terms of like his play and knowing the playbook and stuff. And they're saying Kyle Allen knows it better. I don't know. I mean, I don't think any of them. I mean, none of them have been there long term.
No,
but the thing I find the most interesting is that Alex Smith is now the backup. It's not even Dwayne.
After that freaky leg injury. And, you know, if they're talking about Kyle Allen knowing the playbook, I mean, Ron Rivera was his head coach in Carolina. So if really, figuratively, if you are going to bring that same playbook over to D.C. and try to do it, you have your quarterback from last year to try to make it work. But I think Dwayne Haskins, I honestly feel bad for the guy just because after only 4 weeks as the starter this year and you're already going to pull the plug on him, I think it's too soon personally, but I can see the reason why the move had to be made. And then additionally as well, we joke a lot here on the show and we have fun with it, but Ron Rivera, honestly, we respect everything about you as a coach, as a former player. Please be well. Moving on to the other local game, and that'd be the Baltimore Ravens. They have Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, who were coming off of Burrow's first career win. Mike, we'll start with you. I know you might be thinking about the same thing, but I don't see the good times carrying over from last week. Baltimore they're a dangerous football team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take Baltimore. And, I mean, I like Joe Burrow. I really like him. He's a good quarterback, good guy. But it seems like him and Joe Mixon are the only really highlights on the team.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, if a powerhouse team can't or has a trouble handling the Ravens, there's no way that the Bengals could stand up to it. And it's because I say that, you know, like Joe squared, Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon, that's about all you can. That's all they got. They know no defense at all. They have no offensive line. Poor Burrow is just getting beat up every week. You know,
Absolutely.
Getting sacked and rushed and everything.
Absolutely.
If they could just give him more time.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we know that offensive line needs to develop too, and then maybe A.J. Green, Kaleb, has a couple of highlights here and there. That the career Bengal, which, you know, might be more of a bad thing in his case than a good thing. But any additional thoughts for this game?
I'm also going to have to go with the Ravens. Lamar, I know he's been battling that knee injury this week, but I feel like he's definitely going to be up to par, and he's going to probably be just fine and get that offense going. Him and Marquise will have that connection. Him and Ingram will do their thing in the backfield, and they'll get through this one with ease. Sorry, Burrow.
Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens as well. Sunday Night Football moves over Emerald City. Minnesota Vikings, Seattle Seahawks. The Vikings are 1-3, and their lone win is against the 0-4 Houston Texans, who, you know what, just did the first right thing of the season. They fired Bill O'Brien.
Sure did.
But it's a 1-3 Vikings team. I think they've looked ugly all year. They have a Seahawks team. They're letting Russ cook, and it's working. What do you see coming into this one this week?
Minnesota, they have the pieces also. They have Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins, who is kind of shaky every now and then. But, I mean, they paid him, so they expect wins out of him.
What do you think about Kirk? Are you a Kirk fan or no?
I used to like Kirk, but, I mean, he left D.C. He wanted a lot of money. And when you don't win and you want a lot of money, that causes a huge controversy in the NFL. So
yeah, it leads to it. And you know what? Someone who does win, and they're making good money because of it, is Russell Wilson. Mike, you got anything to add about him?
Russell Wilson, I mean, I think everybody's saying that this is like his MVP season, which what blows my mind, he's never had a vote.
Not one vote.
Not one vote, which blows my mind because, I mean, he performs pretty well every season.
He does.
But this season, he's just been like phenomenal, honestly.
Yeah,
like
he is.
last week he threw 2 touchdowns, and that was like a low for him.
Yeah.
And so I mean, look for him to just keep going. I'm taking Seattle.
Yeah, he's been a savior for my fantasy team in particular this year. Kirk Cousins, who was my backup at one point, yeah, he's gone. That should tell you where this Sunday night
You
game
like
is going to
that?
be. And you know what?
like that?
I don't think Kirk Cousins likes really. I don't think Kirk Cousins likes what's going on in Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota likes what's going on in Minnesota. But there's a lot more we can go into that one. Final wrap up, guys. We each have one game to go over. Caleb, I know that you're taking a big prediction. You're going with the Colts and the Browns. What are you going?
Very bold. I'm going with the Browns to win this game. I mean, they have looked impressive. I mean, they knocked off 2 of the teams in the NFC East, or at least you could say, with that being the Redskins or the football team and the Cowboys. But this week, they have a true test in facing the Colts. I think their offense also, with OBJ and Jarvis Landry, they've been looking good. They've been putting up points in the last 2 weeks, and I think if they can get this one and move to 4-1, hey, we might got to watch out for the Browns.
You nearly put up 50 on the Dallas Cowboys, but then again, it's the Dallas Cowboys.
That was a shocking game. Odell did finally perform well.
He did,
Yeah,
finally.
that was insane, yeah.
And moving on to you, I know that you've got there's 2 Monday night games again for the second week in a row. Mm-hmm. I know it's not meant to be that way, but it's kind of a treat. Denver and New England is the first one. Who are you taking?
I'm going to take New England. This is an interesting game because Cam Newton is out again because of COVID. And I think it's interesting because I watched them last week against the Chiefs. And they were a pretty solid football team, and besides the quarterback play.
Yeah.
If they could get somebody in there to fill in, I know they're going with Hoyer again, I think. Mm-hmm. He didn't really perform very well. I think he's one of the oldest players in the league as well. But I mean, if they can just get medium quarterback play, it doesn't even have to be, like top level. I think that they can handle pretty much majority of the football teams out there.
Yeah, definitely. And, especially right now with how banged up Denver is, I think New England should be able to handle this one, no problem. For these two, I know that I'm taking the Monday night game, the other one, and I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think because Justin Herbert has been impressive for the Los Angeles Chargers. I think he deserves more credit than he's gotten, especially in primetime television. But they're playing Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints in the Louisiana Superdome, and Drew Brees, it's Drew Brees. And Michael Thomas might be coming back this week. You still have Alvin Kamara. That defense, I really like the Saints this week. For Michael, for Caleb, my name is Jordan Simal. Thank you all so much for watching the Week 5 edition of Extra Points right here on Breeze TV. Until next week, we'll see you all later.